The Supreme Court could soon tackle an abortion crackdown in Texas. CBS News highlights the struggles and hurdles women seeking abortion now face across the state. Texas deemed the procedure a non-essential medical service during the coronavirus crisis. Abortion rights activists have challenged the ruling and asked the Supreme Court to take up the case.
So reporter Kate Smith wrote that article, and she joins us now. Kate, just start off by explaining, what Texas has done, what changes they implemented in this time of the coronavirus pandemic that is having an impact on abortion access.
Well, Anne-Marie and Vlad, first of all, it's great to see you both again. What's going on in Texas is that the state, like many others, implemented a directive to temporarily suspend non-essential elective medical procedures. And what happened in Texas was a little bit different than what happened in more liberal states, in that they interpreted that to mean abortion services. Now, since then, a legal ping pong match, if you will, has ensued between Texas and abortion rights activists, which say you simply can't suspend abortion services because abortion is protected by the Constitution and by Supreme Court precedent, like Roe v. Wade and Planned Parenthood v. Casey.
And Kate, you spoke to one woman about her experience trying to get an abortion under these restrictions. She says she plans on driving to New Mexico to receive the procedure. And you quote her in your article saying, people may say, shame on you for traveling and putting other people's lives at risk, but it's also shame on you for making me do this or, putting me in this position. What can you tell us about her and how this is directly impacting women across the state?
Well, Vlad, that particular patient that I spoke to is a 20-year-old woman who worked as a cocktail waitress living at home with her parents. And like millions of Americans, she lost her job amid the coronavirus pandemic. She does not have an income right now. And what she told me is that becoming a mother is simply not an option. There are hundreds of other patients just like that one in Texas who agree that becoming a mother is not what they need to do right now. It's something that they can't do right now. So they are defying stay-at-home orders and traveling 10, 15, 20 hours one way to get to some of the nearest abortion clinics to them in neighboring states. It's something that's so worth noting again and again. And it's that historically we have seen, both today and other moments in history and in other countries, when you ban abortion, it doesn't actually stop people from seeking the procedure. People still seek abortion even when it's banned. They just do it in ways that are both less safe for them and less safe for everyone around them.
So then how's the state of Texas responding to essentially sort of a near ban, almost a total ban that they've implemented, and the backlash?
Well, they've completely defended this ban. And when I spoke to the Attorney General of Texas, he told me that he is prepared and comfortable to go all the way to the Supreme Court to defend the state's right to suspend abortion services amid this, public health crisis of a magnitude that we've never seen in modern history. Now, the way they defend it is twofold. First of all, Roe v. Wade, the all-important Supreme Court precedent that we talk about all the time that legalized the procedure. Well, there's a second part to that, and it's that states can regulate it as it protects the health and safety of their constituents. Now, the attorneys in Texas argue that by suspending abortion services, they are improving the safety of their constituents because they are preserving so many of those much-needed medical resources needed to fight the coronavirus pandemic. Now, the other part is that they say in a state of emergency, they have the right to suspend, as they say, curtail certain constitutional rights. So they see it two ways, and they see what they're doing is perfectly legal, which is why you've seen such an active legal fight against those abortion rights advocates like Planned Parenthood and the Center for Reproductive Rights.
And so, Kate, we mentioned this already, but how could this play out if it reaches the Supreme Court?
Well, breaking overnight, actually, a federal appeals court allowed certain medication abortion to continue in the state of Texas. So that means that patients who are up to 10 weeks pregnant will still be allowed to receive an abortion. Now, what's really important to note, and kind of getting a little bit into legal, administrative things here, that is just based on a temporary restraining order. So all of this up to the Supreme Court. So now what will happen is that they'll have to now argue the case on merit. So you still could see abortion, once again restricted in Texas. But for right now, there are two different kinds of patients that can receive abortion. There are ones who are up to 10 weeks pregnant, and they can do so via a medication abortion, which is a procedure where you just take a pill. And then also patients who are later in a pregnancy and they would be, no longer allowed to receive an abortion based on the state's gestational limits by the time this ban is set to expire, which is April 22nd.
All right, Kate, thank you so much for your reporting.